Hello and welcome to this unboxing. It's a Warhammer video. It will be my unboxing of the Wall of Martyrs Firestorm Redoubt, or Redoubt, however you want to call it, using the orange Spyderco. Not a problem. Absolutely fine. So just remove the top slip, as it were. So this doesn't really fit in the camera very well. I think next time I might put it on a larger tripod. So anyway, get some airbags. I did get some pallets as well because, well, I didn't have any and they've been out of stock for ages. But there we go. So this is what you get. It's a larger box than I thought it would be. It's quite large. Did it say? Yeah, Wall of Martyrs. So it is compatible with all of your other Wall of Martyrs defense lines and things like that. I think you can just put them on the sides or on the back. So let's have a look. Let's open this up. Now I think that this is, yep, made in China. A lot of their products are now being made in China. Everything used to be made in Great Britain. Well, in terms of Games Workshop products, but now even their books are being made there as well. So you open this, and they're going for the bag method here with all of these new kits. So just fingers crossed whether you got the right amount of parts in the bags, really. Okay. Yeah, keep the bag away from babies and children. Just have a little look at a few of the pieces. Seem quite decent. Again, they've been clipped off a sprue because otherwise there wouldn't be these little bits. And yes, it takes that. As I said before in my weapon, the Vengeance weapons batteries. In some ways that's a good thing because it saves you less time, but in some ways that's a bad thing because if they don't do it correctly, you can actually spend more time cleaning it up than what it would take you clipping them off the sprues. And I've got to guess that surely that costs Games Workshop more to get people to do that, unless it's a machine that goes and clips these off sprues. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe we can contact the inside of there. So these are all the pieces in that bag. You get this large roof, I suppose you want to call it, or the top part of the Firestorm Redoubt. And here's the facade, or the face of the bunker. Very well detailed. Very well detailed. I mean, you could use this for anything. I mean, if you got all of these parts, including those weapons batteries, you can actually incorporate these onto Titans and things. I would think. I mean, there's definitely a lot of scope. I mean, yeah, if you built yourself a Warlord Titan and had quite a few of these things around, it would cost you a fair bit. I don't know if it'd cost you more than buying one whenever they decide to make one. And in this bag you've got your weapons. So you've got these huge las cannons. They're a lot larger than I thought they would. It's so difficult watching other people's videos and pictures, but they are very large. Do I have anything to compare it with? Should have. Well, I have an unfinished Terminator. And you know how big Terminators are, just look at their size. They're huge. But anyway. that's the guns and the actual turrets in there. Yeah. So there you go. So far you get 2 bags, one with the guns and the turrets, one with the rest of the walls and the other little details like the Gothic struts and pieces and things like that. And you get the facade and you get the top, the roof. You get the instruction book manual, explanation of all your symbols and all your instructions all the way to the end. Very nice instructions, very simple. It's a very simple kit to make, to be honest. I will give it a score out of I don't know, 5 or 10. I don't know. I'll think about that when I come to build it. But either way, it's a new thing I'm trying to think about doing, about giving the models I make a score out of 5 or out of 10 to see how difficult they were to make. You get your rule book for this particular scenery piece. Yep, so that's just a bit of information. It costs 200 points. The quad Icarus las cannons are, of course, a bit crazy. You know, they're very long range. The intercept and skyfire. Interesting. Value 14. I mean, it's there, but again, a little bit of me being negative. Why should I carry around a booklet for the rules for one scenery piece? Why should I carry a booklet for every single scenery piece? So are you telling me that I need to carry a booklet for this, for the the Vengeance weapon batteries, for the Aquila, for, you know, any of the other things that they're gonna bring out? Or should I just carry the rule book with all the rules in? Only, of course, with these releases, the rules for this aren't in the rule book, which baffles me, because I'm certainly not going to carry this around. So that kind of, it affects whether I'd take this to games and things, really, because I'd have to plan a bit, you know, a couple of steps further, in that I'd have to find this and then I'd have to pack this, and if I don't have it, I can't just go on the Games Workshop website and look at the rules or find the rules or anything. Which I think if they're going to do this, they should make it readily available somewhere on the internet. But that's just my 2 pence, I suppose you say. But anyway, it seems quite decent. So this is just the unboxing and little look at the Firestorm Redoubt. Join me in part 2 when I will have, you know, completed this, built this piece of scenery, and I'll have some models and I'll put it on a board and show you what it would look like. But I'm not going to paint it. So, alright, anyway, join me in part 2, coming up. Hello and welcome to part 2. This is what the Firestorm Redoubt, or Redoubt, however you want to call it, looks like completed. Difficulty wise, I'd probably give it about a 2, maybe a 3 out of 5. Just because the actual platform, the large piece of plastic that goes on the top of the facade, if you will, was a little bit tricky to get lined up with the rear part of the bunker. Now, apart from that, I will say, if you've seen obviously you're here because you've seen part 1, I suppose, but if you saw there, you might have noticed that there were, I think, how many is there? 2 spiky bits missing, completely sheared off. Obviously, I understand they do it mass production, but when you're paying £40 for something like this, you don't really want any bodge jobs and broken products, so to speak. And yes, it's a small niggle that there's two bits there, but surely you must understand that. If you bought a Finecast model at £15 and there were some bubbles in it, or the staff was bent, or the sword was chipped, it would be the same kind of thing. Alright, now I have spoken to a couple of GW staff members, and
Of course their customer service is excellent, they would easily replace that. I have glued it, even though I knew that they would replace it, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. But it's something for you guys to take on board, that if you do have any problems, any missing pieces in your kits, or any parts that are slightly broken, do take them up on their customer service, and don't glue anything, but take the box back, take the model back, and say, look, I'm not really happy with it, and they're more than happy to change it. That being said, I really like the model. It was quite easy to glue, to cut, to file down the mould lines and things. I like the turrets specifically. I glued mine into place just because one of the weapons was slightly loose, and I didn't want to have to keep pushing it up or just changing it now and again. So I glued all of them into place. It's up to you if you want to do that or not. Most of them were quite firm in there that you wouldn't really need to. What I do like about them is obviously you can move them about on the scenery itself, and also if you've checked my Vengeance weapon batteries, those weapons on the turrets, if you haven't glued them in place, it's basically the same kind of deal you have with the rotating circle dent or protrusion, whatever you want to call it, so that you can put those on this scenery as well, which is really cool. I mean, it looks cool if you have 3 of the crazy bolter type cannons. I've forgotten what they're called already, but all 3 battle cannons, it looks equally impressive. So bear that in mind. You can actually do that, or you can just take them all off and just have it as a decent piece of scenery. I will show you the rear of the bunker. So it has an access point there, 1 there, and then 2 on the rear. I glued the steps on the 2 rear points, but not on the side points, because I do have a Imperial defense line, so that's easily you can put that against those 2 access points. Now be warned, if you do have the defense line, do not glue the steps on, because that may affect the way in which the walls line up. And conversely, you may also have to cut the plugs off of the walls as well, just to get it flush, so to speak. All right, the next scene, I'm just going to show you it with some models on, and then a scene after. I'm going to show you it with the Imperial defense line, and then I'm just going to summarize the video. Here we go then. Here's the piece of scenery with some models on. I put some Space Marines on. I think you can get an okay sized Devastator squad on the top there. If you're not using the guns, then you can easily get a 10-man Devastator squad if that's how you like to use this piece of scenery. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Not a problem. Just size comparison with a tank, it's quite a medium to large piece of kit. It's larger than I thought it would be when I bought it, which is obviously a good thing. Is it worth the £40 when a Fortress of Redemption is only £30 more? I'm not sure. There's a lot of detail on there. There is a lot of detail, but I think it just costs a lot because there is a lot of plastic there, a lot of plastic for these big turrets. Anyway, next scene, I'm going to put some Wall of Martyrs on it and then just summarise the video. As you can see, this is where it really comes into its own with some of the defence line. Just swing the camera around a little bit, and there we go. So it works really well with one of these defence line walls, and it just works with it. So like I said in my Wall of Martyrs video, the defense line, if you want to use it with it, you're probably best off cutting the plugs off. But I haven't cut the plugs off here as of yet, and you could get away with it. That would be fine. Anyway, so in summary, I do think it's a decent bit of kit. It is a little bit pricey, but once it's painted up and things, I think it'll be a nice addition to the battlefield, and I hope you look forward to seeing it in a battle report. Anyway, thanks very much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please do comment, rate and subscribe, and the Emperor protects.